Good morning, how are you? Hope you're well. Right, so I get asked to do these videos quite a lot. If you're on this YouTube channel, you've seen, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a carpenter joiner who designs and makes bedroom furniture. I work on my own, it's only me, this is my workshop. But I get a lot of questions. Now I'm getting more followers on Instagram. I get lots more questions about, because I make and spray my own wardrobes and doors and stuff like that. People ask me about the paint. So this is mainly about the paint, this video. But I'm going to give you the three things what get me the quality, which I'm really happy with, on my wardrobes and my wardrobe doors. The reason I do these videos is just to pass the knowledge on so you guys can do it, and if I can do it, you can do it. Believe me, I'm not a professional sprayer, never claimed to be. I'm a carpenter and a joiner. I'm not a sprayer, but the quality I'm getting is, over the years, it's the 3 steps which if you follow, you can do exactly the same. So it's the board you use. First of all, you use the board, the material you're using, the quality. The way I get my quality is I'm using the Fencer Hydrofugo MDF MR. It's just a superior board for spraying. It comes up hardly any sanding, 240 paper over it, and it's done. Now, I do plant-on doors. So basically what that means is if I've got a shaker style door, I'll use a 12mm Fencer board, the Hydrofugo, and then I'll use the 6mm MDF MR, the MDF MR moisture resistant board, the green one. So it's a 6mm. Then I'll rip all the strips down. My strips are all 65mm. Well, I do them at 64mm because it evens out. On a full board, I only get like 10mm waste. So I'll do 64mm and I'll rip a full board down, strips. And that's how I make my plant-ons. The reason I use them 2 boards is if you used to use normal MDF and like an MR, what can happen is as soon as you glue your strip down, over time it can curl. The board can curl up and you get curling. With the Fencer, because it's a denser board, and because I'm using the moisture resistant MDF, you don't get that curl. You might get a couple of mil. You might lie it on the table and then come in the next day and notice one of the corners is just lifted like a couple of mil. Well, that's fine, because what you can do, you can pull it in with the hinge. So when you've got your adjustable hinges, you can just you can push that middle one out and it'll pull that top in. So you can manipulate the hinges. So you might, very rare it happens, but you might get just a mil. I mean, I've seen that some people who's used normal MDF and normal MDF strips, and they've come in the next day and it's like curled up in the corner. It's like 15mm. It's gone up over a 600 wide board. Right. So that's the 3 steps. So it's the MDF MR Hydrofugo, it's the Renner paint, water-based paint, and it's the most important thing is the HVLP sprayer. Now I've used now you haven't got to spend a fortune on the sprayer. I used the Apollo. Now I bought it second hand, it cost me 250 quid. It's got 3 turbines in it. My Greco, which I use now, has got 5 turbines in it. I don't know the difference. There'll be people on YouTube and people around who know the difference. Go and watch their videos. I'm not a professional sprayer. I don't know much about the machines. I know how to control the guns, and I've learned over time of what paint and how much water to put in and stuff like that. So that's my experience in spraying is spraying in a small workshop like this where there's dust around and stuff like that. I used to use, when I first wanted to get into spraying, everybody was saying use airless, use airless. Oh, it was a nightmare. It was like a cloud in here. You couldn't see the phone. You couldn't see me now because of the amount of, it was just unreal. And then I spoke to somebody, they got in touch with me on Instagram and says, listen, go for the HVLP. It will change you completely, and it did. Now I was getting really good quality with this Apollo. I needed to change the gun. There's like a plastic turn on the gun, and then a second-hand Greco Finishing Pro came up on Facebook, 700 quid. So I thought, right, I raced over there, got it, And what he'd done, he'd put the gun back together wrong and couldn't get it working. So I just Googled the drawing and put the gun back together. I think he had the spring the wrong way around or something like that. And it worked fine. So I nicked it at 700 quid. So I use that now. But you don't have to go for the Greco. The Apollo, secondhand on Facebook, 250 quid, 300 quid, and you got yourself a really good sprayer. If my Greco was to break down now, I would gladly go and get my Apollo out, set it up and start spraying with that, even if I was halfway through a job. So I'd spray 2 doors with the Greco and it packed in. I'd get the Greco out and spray the other 2 doors, because the difference, you wouldn't tell the difference. That's how good the sprayers are. This is my personal opinion. This is what I found, what works for me. So the sprayer, the material and the paint, you can get the quality what I'm getting. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I do stories every day of what I'm doing, whether I'm spraying, whether I'm fitting, whether I'm making of wardrobes and stuff like that. It's Vision Carpentry 1998. I think it's the same as this YouTube channel. So let's go to the paint. Right, so undercoat. Let's start with the undercoat. Let's get that out of the way. Right, the undercoat I used to buy them like this in 5 litres tubs, okay? But the more work, when I first started, I'd buy the undercoat and I'd buy the colour, because I buy them from Simplify Coatings. Now, Simplify Coatings is a company, they're up and down the country. They've got a few branches around. My newest one is in Coulsdon. I live in Surrey. So what I had to do, I had to go up there, go into reception, fill out a form, made myself, opened an account, a cash account. Well, what that allows me to do is to ring them up over the phone and to order my materials, so I don't have to go. I order materials, pay with my card straight away, and they deliver it. If you order in the morning, they'll be here the next day, the colours. So they're that good, and they deliver it to me. But you have to order, I think it's over £100. But if you order a colour and you order a undercoat, that's one thing. They're about 75 quid a tub. So 75 quid, they'll deliver it for free. So that's what I started doing that, but I was getting through a lot of undercoat, and I needed 4 tins of undercoat. I had a lot of work coming up. I thought I'll just get 4 in, and then they're here, and then I can undercoat stuff, and then the colours can come in. The lady on the phone said to me, why don't you just order a big tin? So for the price of 4 5-litre tins, which is 20 litres, I get 25 litres for the same price. So basically I'm getting 5 litres of free. So that's like 75 quid. So that's why I'm buying them by the 25 litre tubs now instead of the 5 litres. Because I'm spraying all the time, you get through a lot of undercoat. An undercoat is on everything you spray. The colours are the personal choice of the client, but you're going to be spraying undercoat on everything. So if you're doing a lot of spraying and you're getting more work, just buy the big litres, keep one of these empty, and all I do is empty it into one of them, then empty it into my pot. So undercoat, I only spray water-based. Not getting into chemicals and stuff like that. Water-based is fine. So the undercoat, the code is YLM643-CO2. Now that's the Renner water-based, what I use. Okay. Great undercoat, goes on lovely. But with the HVLP, you need to water this down a little bit. So when you buy, say, a 5 litre, it comes to about here on the tin. So it allows you to add the water. So I do about 5 to 10%, and then it goes through the gun lovely. So that's the undercoat. Now, with the undercoat as well, if you are spraying, say, a dark colour, so you're doing a black or something, the undercoat's in white, and you want to they'll mix the colour undercoat for you. So if you're doing like, I've just done an off black, a Farron & Ball off black, they'll mix that undercoat the same colour. So you can put the undercoat on, sand it, and then you can put top coat. I don't do it, and the reason for that is, there's a couple of reasons. That means I'd have to start ordering 5 litres again of the coloured undercoat. then I'd use 5 litres of the top coat. Now, one of the other reasons is I don't do it is because with the white, if I'm spraying black, I can see it going on and I can see the colour change, whether it's a cream or a red or a green or whatever. I can actually see, when I'm spraying, see the colour change, and I can see how much paint I'm putting on. When I've got an undercoat the same colour as the top coat, I struggle to, I'm always guessing, I'm always thinking to myself, have I put enough on? I'm always guessing and I'm always questioning myself, have I put enough paint on, have I put enough paint on? So I just stick to white and then I'll spray it all. So anyway, that's the undercoat. You got the code, you know where I'll get it. Top coats. Top coats, I'm buying 5 litres tins. Now the top coat, it gets mixed, it comes as white, but it gets mixed into whatever colour you want. So when you ring them up and say, look, they want a Farrow & Ball colour or a little green colour, this is the code, they'll mix it to that colour. Now, if your clients are starting to go with other paints like Lick, and there was another one, Paint and Paper, like these new companies coming up selling paints, they probably won't have the code in. So what you have to do, you have to take up either a sample of the paint, what they've painted the walls, because they might want their furniture, the wardrobes to match the wall. So you need to literally take the colour up, they'll scan it and then they'll do it. So that's a trip. So what I do is when I go and see the clients, I make sure I've got a Farrow & Ball paint strip samples card and a little green card. So they can open up, they can pick all the colours, what they want of the wardrobes, or I'll say, look, there's the cards. You keep the little booklets, you keep them with you, and then just WhatsApp me a picture with the name and the colour, then I can just order it from Simplify Coatings. Right, when you order this paint, they're gonna say what sheen you want, which is the top coat. I always spray a 30% sheen, which gives you like a little, if you have a look, scroll through my Instagram, you'll see, it gives you a little sheen on the doors. So if you imagine that 100% sheen is gloss white, I do 30%. 5% is really nice as well. It's like a matte finish, but I always spray the 30%. So they're going to want to know what sheen. So it's 30%. I do 30%. I think it looks lovely. It just gives you that nice, and it wipes down nice. Also with the top coat, you don't water it down. It goes straight into the gun, and it goes on lovely. So the top coat is the 760. So it's YO30M 760. That's what they'll want. 760-SBN. That's the cut. That's the code for the top coat. So open an account with Simplify Coatings. Get this Renner paint. And do you know what? Because it's only £100, I think it's over £100 to get free delivery. By the time you order the colour and the undercoat, you're getting free delivery. So you can concentrate in your workshop you haven't got to run off and run about all that. And that really helps. It's a great little service they do. And that's it. I think that's all what I covered. Oh, another thing. How much to buy? How much do you need? Is 5 litres going to do all what you do? So what I've found is, if I've got a set of wardrobes, I've got to trim down the side of the wall, I've got to trim across the top, I've got a plinth, I've got a side panel and 4 doors. That, you'll get 5 litres out of that. It'll be right to the end, but you'll get 5 litres out. Anything over that, you've got to buy 2 tins of your colour. So if you've got 2 end panels, so it's a freestanding wardrobe, it's not against any walls, you've got 2 end panels and you've got 4 doors, you've got trims, and also when you open the door you might have drawer fronts or something like that. You need to order 10 litres. And then what I do with the clients is I've got a little airbrush set, which I think I did a video for. There's a link to the airbrush set in my bio on my Amazon shop. If the client damages its stuff or takes the belt off and scratches the door, or the dog jumps up it and stuff like that and scratches the door, what I do is I get a little bottle of water, what I use, and I'll fill the colour up for the client. So when I finish, I give them this little bottle of water. It's got the colour in it. So if they ever ring me and say, listen, the dog's jumped up the door and stuff like that, I can then go to the house, take the door off or whatever. If it's really bad, it comes back to the workshop. But I've got their colour in this water bottle, and then I can respray the door and then it can get on. So that's just a nice little touch you can give to your clients. If they get a mark on it, they can touch it up themselves, or do you know what I mean? So that's what I like to do. So 4 doors, 1 side panel, plinth and trims around it, you'll get out of 5 litres, both sides of the doors. And that's it really. They'll mix it to any colour you want. So Simply Coatings for your paint. The Hydrofugo board, which I buy, there's a company, all my boards, all the boards you see here behind me, all what I'm working with, all the boards. I use the Fencer laminated board inside my wardrobes, all different colours they do. I mainly just use the cashmere because it looks so nice in bedrooms. And my Hydrofugo board is all from a company called Stellafoam. They're in Rainham in Essex, great company. They deliver around my area every Wednesday. So I know if I got a delivery on the Wednesday, I can schedule myself that. In Wednesday, I can be working in the workshop. I get a text in the morning to say they're in between 12 and 1. And then the driver rings me from his last job. He rings me to say I'll be there in 20 minutes. So I know I can clear up, get everything ready, and then I'll take my delivery in. Right, I hope that helps, guys. Any questions, let me know. It's best to ask me questions. I don't really go on this YouTube channel. It's mainly for just knowledge for you, and I don't really put many videos up. But I hope it helps. I'm completely transparent where I get my stuff from, how much things cost. Any questions, just let me know. Best to ask me through Instagram, because I'm sort of always on there. Very rare I'm on YouTube. I just put these videos up just so people can refer back to stuff, what I'm saying. Right, have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go up and have a bit of breakfast now. I've been spraying this morning, and I'm quite happy how everything's turned out. See you later, guys.